back on the zoo with the gorgeous, I just gotta say it, gorgeous Laura Pieri. Bienvenida, welcome. How do you say bienvenida in Portuguese?
Bem-vinda.
Bem-vinda.
Tell us a little bit about the video. What was going on there? You, the guy, the messaging. What was
That's
that?
really funny. So we were in the studio recording this song, and I was like, I feel like I'm so badass right now. I feel like I could rob a bank. And
oh gosh.
Corey, who's my producer, goes, then why don't we? And I was like, what? What? And then the idea, we started talking back and forth about what the song meant and what we wanted people to get from the song. And we just really wanted to represent this ride or die kind of couple, and who better than Bonnie and Clyde? And then to make that very fresh and modern, we decided to just bring them to this century and make them hackers.
I was just gonna say, I mean, there's a lot of relationships that are a little toxic, I wanna say. Of course, that toxicity, is that a word?
It is now.
Anyway, it's what makes them also very sexual, and at the same time, you know, it gets you there. So my question here would be, would you do everything for love? Like, would you follow someone anywhere? Not
And
only
rob a
the
bank,
robbing
basically.
bank, but, you know.
I think I need to find that out. I feel like I need to live a little more, I need to fall a little more. But I've definitely had that moment when I meet someone and I'm like, oh my God, there is nothing I wouldn't do for you. But then you realize that's not that great of a thing to be in at that moment.
You'll find something that you wouldn't do for them. It'll get there. When you're like 21, 22, maybe you'll figure it out, but you're still 20, so you still gotta live life.
Right now, like when I do feel like I'm having feelings for someone, I do feel like it's so intense, and every time it's like the biggest time. And I feel like that's something that every 20-year-old goes through. I see my friends all go through that. I see all my guy friends, they're just like, she's the love of my life. And I'm like, you're 18, you don't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, but some people do find, like, they end up with their high school sweethearts, you know, they end up marrying them.
Where are they at? I want to know those people.
I've met a
want
couple,
them to
surprisingly.
tweet at me.
Wait, where'd you grow up?
I grew up, born and raised in Brazil.
What part?
São Paulo.
Okay, but you don't have an accent.
Thank you. I don't know how that happened.
Really? How long have you been living in the U.S.?
I've been living here for 3 years, but
In 3 years, you got rid of your accent?
Well, I went to
Fabrizio's been
American
here
school.
for like 7 years, and his accent's thicker than ever.
By the way, Fabrizio is one of our fellow employees.
Come here and make an appearance real
from
quick so you
Brazil.
see the Brazilian.
And
You maybe
he's
see him on social
Brazilian.
media.
Come on,
Take a picture of the cameras before you leave. Take a picture of the cameras. Awesome. Thank you.
Well, I went to an American school when I was younger,
Okay.
so that made it a lot easier for me to learn English, and it was part of my everyday kind of
Well, let's be
routine.
honest. You used to get in front of the mirror and sing who? Who were you singing growing up? Beyonce, Britney Spears. What were you singing that got? This is how you practice your English.
Oh, this is gonna go after me. I'm obsessed with Michael Jackson.
Look
Oh,
at
that's
you.
right.
And when I was younger, I used to, when Black and White came out, and Keep the Faith was such a big song for me, and I was always a fan. But then,
You were like 2 years old when that came out.
Like,
well,
trying to do the math. Oh no, but it's
Listen,
Brazil.
I had the
Brazil,
CDs.
everything gets in like 10 years after.
Oh, come on.
Low-key true. But I used to have this one song that's called They Don't Really Care About Us. And that song, seeing it be done in my hometown, and seeing it be done with Brazilian people, and
Right.
hear Portuguese at one point, I was like, this is the song. And I used to stand in front of the mirror, and he used to do the things with his shoulders, and he used to like, do the thing in the middle, and I was like, I can do this. I can dance like Michael Jackson. I can be Michael Jackson.
Can we all try that once? Can you lead us through it?
Okay, so this is what he does. He'll sit there, and he'll do this thing, where he goes, just forward and backwards. That's what I used to do
This is
in the
actually
mirror.
really good for your shoulders if you're really tight
It's
up
really
here.
relaxing.
Okay.
So that's how I started dancing.
I'm very
That's how I
rhythmic,
started.
but yeah.
Are you a Scorpio?
No.
Are you a Sagittarius?
Jesus.
No.
Are you a Libra?
No.
Honey, we're
Aries,
gonna go
you're
through
Aries.
12 months of horoscopes
Pisces.
here.
Típico.
Cancer.
No.
God bless.
Laura?
Okay, Capricorn.
FYI, he's still trying to
No,
get
no,
away with you,
no,
okay?
it's a-
Leo, you're a Leo.
Yeah.
You're a Virgo.
No.
Oh
Capricorn?
my God.
No.
What's that?
Aquarius.
No.
Gemini! I knew it. I knew that she was
He
a
knew
Gemini.
it. He knew it.
No,
And
Peter
Lemon
and two
Family.
episodes
When you leave
later.
it towards the end, when you leave it towards the end, it's impressive as when you do it in the first time.
Anyway, talk to us a little bit about this guy, Corey Rooney, who discovered you. It was in New York.
Yes.
He is, for the people that don't know, also the person that discovered J-Lo. And
Whoa.
at the time. So tell us about your relationship with him. How, because, oh, I got discovered. How did that happen? Because a lot of people trying to break into the music industry sometimes wait for that kind of break, and you happen to already have it. So how was that encounter with him?
Right before I moved, I realized that me and my family were kind of sitting in this echo chamber where we were all like, yeah, we need to go to the US. Yeah,
All
we
of your
kind
family or just
agreed.
you?
Wow.
It was mainly me and both my parents. We all just agreed that something had to happen, but we didn't really do anything. And then once
I'm sorry,
took the
was this
step-
towards your career or was it because of
Towards-
the political situation in Brazil?
It was mainly because we knew that I wanted bigger opportunities than Brazil was
Offering.
able to
Right.
offer.
Okay.
So I knew I had to come here for education purposes and for also a career. Possibly at the time, it was even so far a dream. And then I moved here to finish high school.
Wow, so they have always supported your dream.
Yes, they have.
Okay.
I'm so thankful to have both the parents I do have. I've been out of the box my whole life, and they have always let me be creative. So when I came here and I started making music, my parents were like, you do know you're here to like study, right? And as long as I got good grades, they'd let me go out and do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, we had an acquaintance in common that knew someone that knew Corey, and was like, we should maybe introduce them.
Oh, wow.
And we met. And the moment we met, I just wanted to really show him who I was. So I started playing Brazilian music, I started playing what I like to hear, and then I was like, this is me.
And
And at one point he was like, well, let's see what you can do. And then before we knew it, we'd been in the studio for over a month, working on a lot of different songs and a lot of different styles, and then we just really never left the studio. It's kind of really how it was. We got in and never left.
Well, listen, we want to thank him for discovering you. We want you to come back.
Yes.
All right, your trip.
Congratulations.
Come back when you're 21, and then we can all do shots of tequila.
No, I'm doing shots with cachaça if I'm coming back.
There you go, absolutely.
In Brazil, you can drink at 18, right?
Yeah.
We'll all go to
Here
Sao
you
Paulo,
can.
have some cachaça shots.